How do you feel about your offer? Okay, and be radically honest with yourself how you feel about your offer. Do you feel excited when you talk about it? Do you feel just kind of meh? Or do you feel like, oh, I can't possibly talk about this one more time? Hello, and welcome to the Chaos to Clarity podcast. My name is Maggie, aka your business bestie. I teach female coaches, speakers, and course creators to release procrastination and perfection so that they can get more done, book more clients, and have the time freedom that all entrepreneurs crave. This is not your typical business coaching podcast. We're talking about business, life, probably some wooey magic, and probably some singing or referencing song lyrics along the way. So if you're into business building, making more money, and getting a little bit of a mindset shift along with having a good laugh, you're definitely in the right place. I've grown 3 businesses from $0 to consistent 4 and 5 figure months over the last 15 plus years. And now I'm helping you do the same thing. It didn't happen overnight, and it certainly didn't happen without the help of others. They say it takes a village to raise children, and I believe it takes a village to grow a business as well. So in this podcast, you'll find people who help you grow your village, cheer you on, as well as holding you accountable. I'm so excited you're here, and I can't wait for you to listen to each episode. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Chaos to Clarity podcast. My name is Maggie. I'm your business bestie and your Chaos to Clarity coach. And today I am talking about 3 easy questions for you to do an audit of your business. So these questions are things that I ask myself once a month. This is the 3rd month in a row that I am kind of doing this audit on my business in order to see how things are converting. Okay, so as an entrepreneur, you are the wearer of all the hats, right? You're the driver of the bus. You get to do all the things. And I've talked about other aspects of business before on the podcast pertaining to CEO mindset, employee mindset, goddess mindset, or tasks for those 3 umbrellas. So this monthly business audit that I've started doing is something that I put under the CEO umbrella. And I put that under the CEO umbrella because it is something that allows me to connect with my business and to do kind of just, an audit, right? And not be scared of what the outcome is. It is really just me taking about an hour to go in and look at how things are performing, right? So from a business standpoint, that could be, a CEO talking to some of the directors or the VPs to say, here's your monthly stats, right? And it doesn't have to mean anything. It doesn't have to be scary. And I think some of the kind of smoke and mirrors that starts to happen when you're in business is that like, oh my gosh, I can't look at my numbers because what if they're bad? But also, what if they're good? And if they're not where you want them to be, if you don't know what your numbers are, how are you ever going to get better? Okay. So this monthly business audit is mainly for my offers, and just to check in to see like how business is, right? I'm in my business daily. My business is me. I am my business. So really, minute by minute, I am in my business. And when you're a solopreneur, when you're a mom, when you're any of those things, right? When you are it in your business, even if you have other people who are helping you, who you've hired on as a team, if you're not checking in with some of those numbers and you don't know, how are you ever going to get better? Okay, how are you ever going to step up to the next level if you don't know where you're at? Now, these monthly business audit questions that I ask myself, there's 3 of them that I ask myself. These have nothing to do with money, right? I do ask myself, how is it converting, but not in a monetary way, okay? So I do a weekly Money Monday audit. I guess you could call it an audit. And I feel like the word audit just, I hear that and I'm like, oh, that pit in my stomach just drops and I'm like, oh gosh, audit. But I am on a mission to make it feel better in my body, right? So I'm not like cringing. And so I'm not like scared of that, because there is so much valuable information, right? Which is why I started doing Money Mondays, where I take about 30 minutes of my day and I do it right away in the morning, right? I drop the kids off, I come back home, I refresh my coffee, and I sit down and I do Money Mondays. Because that allows me to have a snapshot in time of what my business has done in the last 7 days. Has money come in? Has money gone out? Do bills need to be scheduled to be paid, right? And it just gives me that overview where I can go into the week knowing that I have a hold on what I want to do financially. So this monthly business audit is a little bit different. And I think this is just as important as the weekly one that I do. So this monthly business audit, it's something you can do on your own. It's also something that I offer in an offer audit. So if you are curious and you want to go through this with someone, you can go ahead and book an offer audit. I'm going to drop the link below. So right now, these offer audits are free. However, the price of the offer audit is going to go up. So if you want a free offer audit that goes a little bit more in depth than what I'm going to talk about today, make sure you click the link in the show notes and go ahead and book that offer audit with me. Within the next 2 weeks of this airing, it will go up to a paid offer. And I'm super excited about that shift, but that is not what we're talking about today. So back to it. So 3 easy questions you can ask for a monthly business audit. These 3 are included in the free offer audit that I have. I also include more questions in there. But these are the top 3 that I feel are the best for the most growth, right? Most bang for your buck. So number 1, how do you feel about your offer? Okay, and be radically honest with yourself how you feel about your offer. Do you feel excited when you talk about it? Do you feel just kind of meh? Or do you feel like, oh, I can't possibly talk about this one more time, right? Or is it somewhere in between, right? So, and like I said, be radically honest with yourself about this. Because when you're radically honest with yourself about how you're feeling about things in your business, you are starting to upgrade your accountability to yourself. You're upgrading your accountability within your business, within yourself. And that then tells the universe that, okay, she wants to take this seriously. She is committing to this. Okay. And if you're not sure what that is and you're like, but yeah, Maggie, I am totally committed to my business, right? I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions, and you could even rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. How do you feel about your offer right now? Okay. So last week, maybe actually 2 weeks ago, in mid-April, I did a bonus audit of my business, and I asked myself, how am I feeling about my offer? Because I knew I was kind of slacking on talking about it, and I knew I was holding back in a few different ways. And when I rated myself on a scale of 1 to 10, like, how do I feel about this offer? It was a 5, a 6. So I then asked myself, I said, self, what would it take to get to a 10? What would a 10 look like? What would a 10 feel like? How would I show up if my offer was a 10? If I was so excited and elated and just I can't even put it into words what it would feel like, right? Okay. But like when I talk about that, I get goosebumps and I am feeling like, okay, here's what a 10 feels like in my body. And I mean, you can hear it in my voice. I am excited about that offer. Okay. So how did I feel about my offer in mid-April? I felt kind of meh about it. Just kind of like, it's there. And I'm not kidding. A couple days later, I had some amazing downloads to upgrade my offer, to change some things up a bit. And I was super excited about that. Okay. And I have that. I'll talk a little bit about that towards the end of the episode. But to bring it back, how do you feel about your offer? Again, being radically honest with yourself and understanding, it's okay to feel not great about your offer. I think sometimes we get into this cycle of like, yes, this offer is amazing. It's the next best thing since sliced bread and I can't wait to talk about it. And then it doesn't perform like we want it to. And we get kind of sad about it. And there's so many people out there that say you only need one offer. You only need one offer. It has to be high ticket, blah, blah, blah. And that is all well and good. And yeah, sure, have a high ticket offer. But if you're not feeling super excited about that offer, it's time to change something. Maybe it's the price. Maybe it's what's included. Maybe it's how you're talking about it. Okay. So it doesn't have to be this big monumental shift, right? It can be this little offshoot of like, here's one aspect of my big offer that I'm really excited to dig in more about. So for me, that came in the form of the accelerate your business, accelerate your brand offer. It's a 30-day offer that I created because I was bored with the offer that I had, right? There was so much in my big, like year-long offer. It was overwhelming. And I thought, okay, how can I make this more fun for me? I'm going to take one aspect of that, pluck it out. Here's the brand module that I have started, that I have been dreaming about, that I have been just daydreaming about, right? I dream about it at night. I daydream about it during the day. Okay, let's pluck that brand module out and let's start talking about it, right? Which fits in great with the offer audit. So like I said in the beginning of this episode, my offer audits are currently free. So if you are not getting in on that offer audit, do so now before I make it paid for, because it is packed with so much stuff. And if you are opting into my core, or not my core offer, if you are opting into that offer audit, you're also going to get special pricing for Accelerate Your Brand. So that, again, how was I feeling about my offer? I was feeling like, and I allowed that to be okay. And then I allowed for the space to open up and really dig into and do some serious daydreaming and thinking and wonderment about what is it that I want to offer? What is something that I have, scribbled down in some of my notes on my big paper that I have all like dreamed up? What is something on there that really ignites me? And, digging into the brand for people, with people, is so fun for me. So for me, I'm loving doing these offer audits. And during these offer audits, we often talk about ideal client, core values, and strategies, like how to dream up a strategy for yourself, right? How do you get a strategy on paper where you can go from not booking on one day to booking in the next 90 days, right? Okay, so how was I feeling about my offer? Not great. What did I do? I allowed myself the ability to change, the ability to grow, the ability to open up to new offers, right? Now, like I said before, it's fine if you have one offer, but is that offer converting? That is the second question. So if you're feeling kind of okay about your offer, great. The next question is, how is your offer converting? Are you getting paid clients? Are you constantly posting on that promote post in those Facebook groups, hoping and praying and wishing to whatever God and universe is out there that somebody will take you up on that offer, right? Is that you? Are you wondering that? Because I'm not going to lie, I have been. There have been times over the last 3 years where I have been wondering, what in the heck am I doing? I don't like this, right? This is not fun for me. So my offer wasn't converting. Okay, so when my offer wasn't converting, well, what do I have to do in order to get my offer to convert? It doesn't have to be this like hard question, okay? Because chances are you probably know at least one, if not two things that you can do right now to either start talking about your offer more or shift something in your offer or do something that helps your offer convert, okay? Now, an additional question, so a bonus question that you'll get out of here. How is your offer converting? Okay. If you're like, it's not, what do I do? Right? That's your question. What can you do today, right now, to get your offer to start converting? Right? How can you bridge that gap? And again, this is something that I help people do in my newest 30-day program. This is what I help people do. I help them figure out how they get their offer to convert. Usually that looks like changing something a little in their offer, right? Because when you're excited to talk about your offer, people are like, what kind of tea is she sipping and can I have some? Right? That's the thing. When you're excited about what you're doing, when you're excited about this offer, it's easy to talk about it. It's easy to dig into some of the nitty-gritty. It's easy to talk about the end results because you're so excited that you realize, oh my gosh, I have to tell people. I have to tell people about it. I'm so excited about this. And that's all you want to do is talk to people about this. So keep that in mind. If your offer is not converting and you're feeling kind of gross about it, you're feeling kind of some sort of way where you're not sure what the heck it is you want, it's time to switch your offer. And it's okay if it switches, right? It's totally okay. All right, so the third question. Are you connecting with your ideal client? And this one can be kind of nuancy. But again, if you are radically honest with yourself, and I think that's something that I know for me as a woman, I tend to dismiss a little bit, and I'm not always super honest with myself because I don't want to hurt my own feelings, right? I don't want to upset myself. But I've also learned that when I can be honest with myself and take a look at what is going on in my business, especially with this monthly business audit, it allows me to really stay true to the action steps that I've written down in my strategy, right? And don't get me wrong, like I think everyone could have a different strategy and they could still produce results, right? I don't feel like there's one strategy that is a one size fits all because I haven't found it. So if you've found it, you let me know. But again, we're all individual, right? There's a million different ways to do this, right? To be in business. So, are you connecting with your ideal client? Do you know what they want to talk about? Do you know what they are talking about? And this is something that I think a lot of business owners skip the step of figuring out some of the things that their ideal clients want, right? You have to know the pains and the headaches and the problems, even the fears and all that. Again, garbage thoughts. You need to know all those garbage thoughts that your ideal client is thinking. Not necessarily so you can pinpoint market to them, although that is a thing. I, however, have really leaned into, so I know the pains, the headaches, the frictions, problems, fears, dreads, all that stuff. But I also know the gains, the goals, the desires, the hopes, the dreams, the aspirations, the ideal lifestyle that my clients want to have. And that's what I talk about, right? Like, I know that a lot of my clients are exhausted. Maybe they're scared. Maybe they're fed up with, their offers not converting. I know that. So when I talk about business stuff, I want to talk about things that are going to help them feel the freedom that they want to feel in their business. I want them to feel joy and have fun. I want to help them create a legacy. I don't want them, I want them to tap into not having to worry about income and know that they have the tools to really step things up in their business and grow in a way that makes them feel so full of life and so full and excited to get up every day and do what they're doing that they just can't wait to get to work, right? That is what I want to talk about. So I talk a lot about feelings of freedom and creating space to have an epic business, but also having the time and the space and the desire to connect with their family, because I know most of my ideal clients are moms who have this side hustle that they're doing, that they're growing. They want it to be a full-time hustle, but they also don't want to have the hustle, right? They know they're going to have to work, but they don't want to have it be all hustle all the time. So I help them take out that hustle. I help them remove the hustle so that they feel like they have all the time in the world in order to do what they want. So, to wrap this all up, 3 easy questions to ask yourself in a monthly business audit. How do you feel about your offer? How is your offer converting? And are you connecting with your ideal client? Answering these 3 things is going to help you shift out of that stagnant, stuck, not producing energy. And it's going to help you shift into an energy that will open up new ways for you to really amplify your offer. Now, if you want to go more in depth and dive a little bit deeper into your offer, go ahead and click the link below and let's set up an offer audit, because I want to help you grow this offer in a way that feels amazing for you. So offer audits are 20-minute calls, and I ask you some questions beforehand so that I have an idea of what is going on in your offer, especially if you've never done this kind of offer audit before. So we go in and, I get to understand your business and I get to understand what you are doing and how I can help you upgrade that. So with the offer audit, you also have the opportunity to upgrade into the new offer that I created, which is Accelerate Your Brand. So in Accelerate Your Brand, we go into, again, we utilize the offer audit, and then we start digging into your ideal clients, right? And looking at some of the pain points, looking at their kind of rock bottom, but also looking at hopes, dreams, desires, and the catalyst moment that will help them jump up and out of all of those garbage thoughts. So there's also a core values piece to Accelerate Your Brand, where, again, this is something that I help a lot of women understand. What is your why? Okay. And this is probably going to be a separate podcast episode talking all about your why and really digging into core values and why your why should be selfish, why it's all for you. And that's okay. I think as women, sometimes we forget that it's okay if we're selfish, right? It's okay to take care of the self. It's okay to really nourish what you need in order to grow, because at the end of the day, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to fill your cup so that it overflows in order to be able to give to others, whether that's your kids, your spouse, whatever, your clients. You have to fill your cup first. And then also in Accelerate Your Brand. So you've got an offer audit, ideal client, core values work, strategy call. That is where we create action steps for you to move forward. Like I walk through an action step worksheet with you and fill it out with you so that you have someone there helping you along the way to say, okay, yes, this is doable for me. Here are 1 to 3, maybe 4 actions I need to do every single day in my business that will produce growth. Because those little actions, they add up over time. So don't sleep on those little actions, right? Don't forget to do some of those little things because they help. Okay, so to wrap this up, offer audit link is below. Go ahead and book that, and that will take you right into the Accelerate Your Brand. You can read all about that once you book your offer audit. So I hope you have such an amazing day. I hope this helped. And I can't wait to connect with you. I can't wait to hear. And if you answered the 3 questions that were in this episode, make sure you go ahead and either tag me on Instagram or send me a DM, something. Let me know the answers. How are you feeling about your offer? How is it converting? And are you connecting like you thought with your ideal client? So I hope you have the most amazing day, and I will be back so soon.